video मतलब அப்புறம்
So guys, screen recording started. Now let's move towards the presentation. So hello guys, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Saeed Omrani and along with my team members, Mohammad Amir Sohail, Faisal Ali, Rahul Singla and Mohammad Shazim Hassan. So we all are here to present our presentation today, which is about. So we were given a lot of case studies, and we just came up with that one that we have selected the one that has GDP problems in it. So we selected the topic that growing GDP in poor countries, and to alleviate those obstacles, and for that purpose, we had to select one country. So we all discussed, and we came up with a country which was Kenya, because Kenya is like currently right now Kenya is more towards the, what we can say, it's the most uh, developing countries in it. So here let's move to the introduction now. So in Kenya, SMEs present over 90% of businesses but contribute less than 30% to the GDPs. So it says that our SMEs contribute less less percentage to the GDP. So the main problem in the Kenya is like there are a lot of obstacles over there, just like limited access to credit and finances, bureaucratic red tape, and inadequate infrastructures. Infrastructure has been has played a vital role in it, and inadequate weak linkages to formal markets, and the technological adoptions, regional inequalities. So basically, in this case study, we are going to highlight main points which are more towards the infrastructure and the finance problems. So this study focuses on unlocking their potential by identifying systematic barriers and proposing actionable reforms aimed of economic transformation and poverty reductions, according to World Bank. The problem lies in inadequate access to finance, weak structure, as I have mentioned already, and regulatory inefficiencies that limit SME scalability. So, SME is small and medium enterprises, the heartbeat of Kenya's economy. They account for about 98% of all the businesses and employ over 80% of the Kenyan workforces. However, despite their significant pressure and contributions, SMEs face just systematic challenges, including limited access to finance, as I have already mentioned, regulatory barriers, and inadequate infrastructure. That has been a very big problem in Kenya nowadays. This presentation explores how unlocking the potential of SMEs can serve. Sorry, guys, I got lost. This presentation, this presentation explores how unlocking the potential of SMEs can serve as a catalyst for a national economic growth. So, like the main points that we have been highlighting is that these are the main key elements in which we can work, and they can work as a catalyst to towards the Kenya's GDP. Our study investigates the relationship between SMEs development and GDP enhancement, using Kenya as a focused case study. We examine how tailored policies and financial inclusion can help SMEs flourish. We also take a comparative look at successful SME models in Africa to guide our recommendations. So when we guys were talking about all of these things all over the countries, so we made a thought on Africa as well, but we selected Kenya because it has more to discuss, and more has to do more R&D over there. Ultimately, we argue that strengthening the SME sector is not just an economic imperative; it's a pathway to inclusive growth, poverty reduction, and sustainable development. Poverty has been a greatest problem over there, and we just selected this one because of these all these issues. Through this research, we hope to inform both policy and practice for impactful change, and we believe that this study would play a great impact on these changes. Now let's move towards the background and significance. So it says that SMEs in Kenya contribute to job creation but lack structural support. So the problem, like in every government, you have seen that there's a lot of structural problems over there, because there is not that much of support for them. So that's why in job creation there's a very lacking in structural support. Other than that, the issue has persisted for decades due to colonial legacies and institutional gaps. Because of the institutional gaps, sorry guys, it was my timer. So
That's
because
fine.
of
That's
these
fine.
institution gaps, the GDP has impacted very badly over the people over there and over the government, over the systems over there. GDP stagnation in rural areas is closely tied to SME performance. Obviously, it will be because if they will not in their work in their rural areas, it's gonna be affect the performance of SMEs. So this study can influence policy making and investment prioritizations. So the significance of SMEs in Kenya is hard to overstate, as I've already mentioned. They serve as a primary engine for employment, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Because of their gaps, which I have told you already, because of these gaps, they have been, lacking in entrepreneurship as well. Despite their pivotal role, however, SMEs often operate in a hostile ecosystem as well, struggling to access affordable credit, facing inconsistent regulatory enforcements, and lacking support infrastructures. According to the World Bank 2021, that we researched and we discussed and we realized that these constraints hinder their ability to scale and contribute more robustly to GDPs. This study is timely because of Kenya's Vision 2030, because every study has a different insight of it. So which identifies SMEs as key drivers or a catalyst of national developments. So if they will work on the catalyst that I have mentioned, like the financial thing, the GDP thing, the institutional gap, and the entrepreneurship thing, so they will definitely gonna cover that one. The government efforts, while commendable, still fall short of addressing root causes such as fragmentation in financial systems and a lack of unified policy directions. So our study mainly highlights why unlocking the potential of SMEs isn't just a private sector concern. It's a public policy. By emphasizing the economic and social relevance, we present a case for targeted investments, reforms, and capacity building as a next frontier of economic growth. So now I would like to request my group mate Mohammad Shazim to continue further.
Thank you, Seda.
Thank you.
Hello, guys. My name is Muhammad Shadim Hassan. So today I discuss about the context of the case study. Our case study situates Kenya SME sector within the broader African economic landscape. Kenya SME operates in dual economic. Some are highly innovative and tech-driven, while others are informal and undercapitalized. While others are informal and undercapitalized, the diversity adds complexity to policy solutions. At the same time, regional developments such as the African Continental Free Trade Area provide the new opportunity for SME expansion and cross-border. Our case study also considered historical trends such as the post-COVID recovery, digital transformation, and shifts in the global trade dynamics. The governmental strategies in global trade dynamic, the IFAD Country Strategic Opportunity Program 2020 to 2025 provide a strong policy framework, but the lack cohesive sector. We also explore the roles of public-private partnership, non-governmental organization, and development agencies in SME growth. By analyzing Kenya's solution through both our domestic and regional lens, we can better understand what policy, financial, and institutional reforms are necessary to unlock the sector potential driver economic transformation. Now I discuss about the data sources of our project. To ensure the credibility of our finding and utilize a diverse array of data sources, our primary data sources include reports from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the World Bank, KIPRA, and several peer-reviewed academic journals. These sources provide rich continental data on SME performance, economic indicators, and and assess of financial services. Economics indicators are we also examine policies, briefs, governmental strategic documents, and case studies to understand the regularities and policies environmental surrounding SME. Studies such as Beck and Conjura 2020 refer insights into SME financial trends, while others are providing data on digital transformation and resiliency during COVID-19. By triangulating these sources, we develop a comprehensive and nuanced views of challenges and opportunities within the SME sectors. Our data-driven approach to prevent not just opinion but also evidence-based recommendation that can guide decision makers, financial institute, and SME supports network across Kenya and beyond. Now I invite to my other group fellow, Mr. Muhammad Amir, so he will explain further.
Thank you, Shazim. Uh, we will further discuss about the topic of analytical tools and frameworks. For the study, we employed several analytical tools and conceptual frameworks to structure our inquiry. First, we used a PESTLE analysis to evaluate the political, economic, social, and technological and legal and environmental factor affecting SMEs in Kenya. This allowed us to identify key external influences that shape SMEs' performances. We also used a SWOT analysis to assess internal strengths and weaknesses as well as external opportunities and threats. In addition, we applied a comparative policy analysis framework to benchmark Kenya against other African nations, notably Rwanda and Nigeria, which have implemented successful SMEs policies. These frameworks help us uh, interpret trends, identify pattern, and drive targeted recommendations. Through this multiple layered approach, we could clearly see how policy fragmentation, limited access to credit, and the digital exclusion inhibiting growth. At the same time, we identified potential catalysts like mobile banking and trade integration that could unlock significant value within the sector if properly harnessed. And further, we will discuss about the comparative insight lessons from Africa. Uh, Drawing comparison from across Africa helped us contextualize Kenya SMEs, development challenges, and the opportunities. Rwanda, for instance, has simplified its tax code and developed a highly digital businesses and registration system, uh, allowing SMEs to formalize and scale quickly. And further has introduced SMEs focused development banks and funding programming, increasing access to capital for startup and growth stage businesses. These examples highlight the importance of cohesive policies, digital infrastructure, and the financial instrument tailored to the SME's needs. And further, we will discuss now while Kenya is making a stride, it still lags behind the streamlining regulatory uh, process and the unfine funding mechanism. What these comparative insight underscore is that targeted intervention when aligned with national development goals can transform the SME sector into a genuine driver of GDP growth. We believe Kenya can adopt and adapt many of these best practices, particularly in the financing, digital, and policy consistency to not only grow its SMEs but also integrate them more effectively into the regional and global markets. And further discuss, I would like call Muhammad Faisal Ali.
Thank you, brother. Hi, my name is Faisal Ali. Today I will discuss about data analysis summary. Our analysis revealed several key patterns. First, access to finance remains the most significant barrier to SME growth in Kenya. Many SMEs rely on informal lenders or personal savings due to high collateral demands from commercial banks. However, mobile banking platforms have started to close this gap by offering more accessible credit solutions. Second, regulatory inefficiencies such as long licensing process and overlapping jurisdictions create high entry barriers for small businesses. Third, digital adoption is uneven while urban SMEs increasingly adopt e-commerce and fintech tools. Rural enterprises lag behind due to poor infrastructure. Moreover, our data indicates that SMEs with greater access to credit mentorship and markets tend to report better growth and resilience, particularly during economic shocks like COVID 19. These finding points to the importance of not just financial capital but also institutional support and digital inclusion. Together, these insights shape our recommendations for holistic, scalable solutions aimed at enhancing SME contributions to GDP. The next slide is, can you please change the slide, Saida? The next is potential solutions. Our proposed solutions are structured around the removing the most critical bottlenecks. First, regulatory streamlining is essential. This includes digitalizing the business registration and licensing process to reduce bureaucracy and time lags. Second, financial inclusion must be expanded. We recommended incentivizing banks and fintechs to develop low interest unsecured loans specifically for SMEs, particularly those in rural areas, and women led enterprises. Mobile based microloans, for example, have already demonstrated success and can be scaled nationally. For example, have already demonstrated success can be scaled nationality. Third, investment in infrastructure, particularly broadband access, would enable more SMEs to engage in digital trade and marketing. Additionally, mentorship and incubation programs, especially those led through public private partnerships and build entrepreneurial capacity. Finally, we emphasize the importance of integrating Kenyan SMEs into regional value chains via the AFECTA, which could open up broader markets and drive innovation. These solutions are not standalone, they are interconnected and should be pursued collectively for lasting impact on the SMEs sector and the national economy. And the next slide is short and long term vision. Saida, can you please change the slide? Thank you. In the short term, our focus should be on quick wins that can create immediate impact. Streamlining licensing and registration through a centralized digital platform would encourage formalization and reduce operational costs. Promoting mobile based microloans will bridge financing gaps for small entrepreneurs. These changes could be implemented with relatively low investments but high returns. Long term, we long term, we envision the creation of a national SME bank with specialized products and services to meet the diverse financial needs of this sector. We also recommend integrating Kenyan SMEs more fully into regional and continental value chains to affect our regional. This would not only improve market access but also increase competitiveness. Institutional reforms, capacity building programs, and investment in digital and physical infrastructure will be crucial to sustain this growth. The goal is the transition SMEs from surveillance business into engines of innovation, job creation, and GDP acceleration. With vision, coordination, and commitment, this future is within reach. Thank you so much. I will next invite to my colleague Rahul Singla.
Thank you, Faisal. Saida, can you please change the slide? Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul, and I'm going to present key recommendations on our case study. Our recommendations focuses on five key areas to support SMEs. First, improving access to finance. We suggest promoting mobile lending platforms, offering banking solutions tailored to SMEs, and creating credit guarantee schemes to help reduce risk for lenders and improve capital access. Second, simplifying business registration. By streamlining the process of business registration and licensing, we can make it easier for informal businesses to transaction into formal economy. Third, investing in ICT infrastructure. Bridging the digital gap, particularly in rural areas, will enable SMEs to use e-commerce, digital payments, and expand their market reach. Fourth, setting up incubators. National and regional hubs can offer mentorship, training, and market connections, helping SMEs grow up, compete better. Lastly, aligning policies with AFCFTA. Harmonizing SME policies with regional trade agreements will open new markets and support cross-border growth. These areas are connected and require collaboration from the government, financial institutions, private sectors, and development partners. By implementing these changes, SMEs can move from being an underperforming sector to a powerful driver of growth. Strengthening SMEs will not only boost Kenya's economy but also promote inclusive growth and reduce inequality. Further, I will move on conclusion of our case study. Saida, can you please change the slide for me? Thank you so much. So wrap these things up. SMEs have a lot of untapped potential in Kenya. They already provide jobs and spark innovations, but they face some real challenges that hold them back. This case study shows that with the right support, SMEs can play an even bigger role in shaping Kenya's economy future. There are two main areas of action. First, short-term solutions, like expanding access to mobile microloans and simplifying digital business.
Sorry, Rahul. Sorry to cut you off. Can you please
Yes.
slow down because your net is disconnecting?
Oh, so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
go.
where am I? Uh, so I was discussing there are two main areas of action. First, short-term solutions like expanding access to mobile microloans and simplifying digital business registrations can create quick, visible impact. These are practical steps that remove immediate barriers of entrepreneurs. Second thing is long-term investments are crucial. This means improving infrastructure, strengthening financial systems, and aligning policies that make it easier to start and grow a business. These efforts will create a more sustainable environment for SMEs to thrive. We also looked at successful stories from countries like Nigeria and Rwanda. They shows that when governments and stakeholders commit to locally driven, innovative approaches, real progress is really possible. Kenya has the opportunity to do the same by learning from others, customizing solutions to its own context, and bringing together public and private sectors around a shared goal of SMEs empowerment. And we also added some references from which from which we have done our research. Saida, can you please show the slides? Yeah.
Yeah, I have shared the slides. So these are the following references that we have used in our presentation.
We hope this
So
study add value on our ongoing conversation and help pushing
hopefully,
things forward in a meaningful way.
yeah. Thank you so much, Rahul. So this
That's
is
good.
this was
Thank you.
all about our final presentation regarding Kenya's GDP. So now we would like to thank you, our respected teacher, and I would like to thank you all, guys. Thank you, guys. So I'm stopping the
Thank
recording.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.